Good morning and welcome to the Moose Minute Project on a rainy Tuesday morning. Sounds like Boscobel got about 4 inches of rain last night. Definitely water standing in a lot of places. River, I'm guessing, will swell up a little bit. But welcome to the Moose Minute Project. Appreciate you tuning in and listening, and for those that feed back, I appreciate that as well. So, take that dive, as it is labeled. So as some of you may have saw on my Facebook page, I dove into Lake Huron off the back of a boat this weekend. Out with friends, having a great time. First time I've done anything associated like that with water since July 23rd of 2017. So, 7 years ago, I had my stroke, as a lot of you know, in my past of seizures, or one seizure, Lyme's disease, and those kind of things. But the stroke thing has been a big deal to get over some of those things and to have the mind games play. So before, it would have been no big deal at all. I'd have spent all day back there diving into the lake and having a great time and swimming. But diving into a lake and then having the issue from the stroke of just mind games in general, played with me quite a bit. I stood back. The anxiety went up a little bit. At first was going to dive in with a life jacket on, and then so I had a life jacket on the back of the boat just sitting there, so somebody could if they needed to. But I'm standing on the back of the boat, and my wife, of course, is there supporting me, and I appreciate that a ton. She supported me through all this mess, but to not have done it since then. So, I don't feel a lot of the things on my left side due to nerve damage and that the stroke split me in half. But you take an activity such as just diving and swimming, I've done it all my life. I raised around lakes, I swam in lakes, tubing, all of that, boating all the time, all of that. So it should have been no big deal. Just jump in, First I was going to just, put my feet in and slide in, and I had to prove it to myself, but over and over, anxiety hit, and I would think about it for a second, and then finally, my wife decided she was going to videotape it, so then as you see the video on my Facebook page. I dove in, hit the water, and here's the weird part. And I'm glad I have the video to look at it, because when I dove in, I didn't know how deep I went or how far I was to the surface. It was a really weird feeling to not know. So I dove in. Of course, water's dark. You can't see nothing anyway that way. And with the waves and things on Lake Huron, they weren't big at all. It was just in a party, kind of like a party cove is what it looked like. Everybody was out there swimming and having a good time. But I couldn't tell how far down I had gone. My brain didn't correlate any of that. So I didn't know how deep I was, which is odd. For me, I've never been one to dive, like even at a pool, I don't dive deep. I'm more of a shallow diver to start swimming then. And so it played a hell of a mind game on me, but I am so glad I did it. Anxiety, everything was there. There was no doubt. Did end up using the life jacket just to hold on to the float in the lake. Just to kind of relax for a minute, because I needed to take some time, just to unwind and to do all of that. And after the dive, But we have to start doing some of that in our life. It may cause anxieties. There's no, it definitely, and there I reconnected again. It definitely did that. It reconnected, um, my, my fear of that I can do it, and it helped with that. That's the thing, is anybody seeing me on the back of the boat saw a 6'5" guy struggling to dive. And they're probably wondering what the hell's wrong with the guy. He's huge. It'd be fine. Not knowing internally what I was going through. So a lot of people don't know what people go through internally or what they're struggling with on a daily basis. If you wake up every morning and you're worried about how the day is going to go, and that's your main focus, your day is going to go a long day. It'll be a very tiring day because it's going to wear you out mentally, which in turn then hurts you physically. So take the leap. If it's not a jump, or if it's not a dive, at least make it a jump. At least jump and trust that faith of yours, and to make that one more step. So that was my big struggle, was with that dive over the weekend, is I did not know the outcome, because, like I said, it's the first time since my body really changed, since my brain had changed, that I did anything like that. And of course, diving into Lake Huron, it's a huge lake. You don't see bottom. You don't, you're just trying to, overall anxious on that. And like I said, then I found out from my brain that it couldn't calculate how deep I was, or if I went way down, or, at first it took me a second to realize the direction I had to swim up, to get out of the water. And it was a millisecond. I wasn't like, oh boy, I was in the middle, But that's the things that people play with every day, that they go through every day. On my way to work today, I was listening to Mel Robbins. She was with Rob Dial Jr. today on the podcast. And Mel Robbins came up with the count backwards from 5. It's the 5-second rule, and move. So if you are debating something, count down to 5, from 5 to 0, and move. Because after 5 seconds is when our brain tries to either convince us not to do it, or all the excuses take over to not do it. So if you're thinking about things and you're wanting to change your life and make things better, and you are coming up with multiple reasons not to, and it makes perfect sense. A lot of people have said, oh, I just counted to 10, or whatever it may be. And it's weird because I got to dig into this more. Like I said, I was just listening to her. She said, you cannot count forward because it doesn't work. You got to count backwards from 5, and move. So I'm going to dig into that more as well, and do some more. And this has been the fun part for me, of just listening to other people's stuff. Everybody's stroke is different. Just kind of like Alzheimer's is different for everybody. Some things are similar with like cancers and things like that, but when it comes to things that affect your brain, such as the stroke, I belong to a support group, and everybody is different. Body parts that are affected are different. How to heal is different. It's just all different. Some things work, some things don't, and you just got to try. So that's where I'm going to leave you today, is if you're unhappy where you are right now, whether it's with your job, whether it's with life in general, count back from 5 and take that dive, or make that jump, but at least make a step in the right direction. Move a little or a lot, however you want to do it. And don't be scared. You may get hit with resistance. You may be hit with, trials and tribulations. And if you get knocked down, brush yourself off, get back up, and move forward. So, but yeah, that dive taught me a lot this weekend. It was a thing and it's a pretty simple thing, diving into water. Been doing it since we were little in Plain, Wisconsin in a swimming pool. But then I grew up in Minnesota and there were no swimming pools. We had to swim in lakes. And that was a different scenario all in general too. But when you can't see the bottom and you can't see where you're headed is when you rely on everything else that you have gone through in life. And you know what? It'll get you to the top. It'll get you back to the boat. It'll get you to solid ground. And you just keep moving. So that's where we're at. And I truly appreciate everyone that watches that. Have more things going on with Mom, but again, one day at a time there with that. We'll deals with the Alzheimer's stuff there, and the issues that surround that. So it is a cloudy day here in Boscoville, but the life looking forward, pretty good day. Pretty good chance I'm gonna have a decent day. I'm talking here and I'm moving forward and looking for great things. So thank you guys for listening to the Moose Minute Project. And always take time to bless somebody if you can. And then don't forget, tonight in Richland Center, if you're watching this, is National Night Out. EMS, police, law enforcement will be down at Crosscup Park. And then there'll be food trucks there as well. So make yourself presence there and meet the people that put their life, and it is true, they put their life on their line, whether they're fire department or EMS or law enforcement. Fire department, they do something I wouldn't do, and that's run into a burning building. Law enforcement, same thing. Wouldn't do it. I probably would if I had to, but definitely respect all of them. So National Night Out tonight in Richland Center at Crosscup Park, a new location. I heard TKO Barbecue is going to be there, so I'm looking forward to that. And then I don't know. I'm sure I'll know people down there, or some people. Maybe that's it. I'll probably will. But yeah, I appreciate everybody for tuning in. I thank you guys very much. Again, if you're looking for the 5-second rule or information on the 5-second rule, that lady is Mel Robbins. And she's got a lot of good stuff so far of what I've heard. And then also Rob Dial Jr. Does a lot of mindset, positive mindset and changing your mindset to make your life better. I listen to a lot of them and Jim Rohn as well. So that's where I'm at. But yeah, that dive was awesome. 70-degree water at Lake Huron this weekend. Shoulders are paying for it. They're pretty bright red, but all is good and life is good and only to get better. And that's where I'm headed. So have a great week. Have a great night and a great day. And if you're out and about at National Night Out tonight, you'll probably see me there. I know my wife will be there for the Richland County aspect of it as well. So we will talk later. I'm going to head into work now. Highway 60 is closed, by the way, for 3 days, and that throws it into a bad drive for me. But it's okay. Gave me more time to listen to my podcast. So talk to you all. And again, bless somebody if you can. We'll talk soon. Bye.